When it comes to discipline, that's not something that I've always had. And it's something that I still struggle with a good bit. I was just thinking about, for some reason, some of the things I've done, accomplished, and what state of mind I was in and where I am now. I was thinking back when I bought my new house with my ex-wife, and when we bought the house, it was a complete mess. The whole yard, it was a huge yard, but it was a beautiful yard. It had brick walkways, it had a bunch of ivy with pathways through it. It looked like a big garden that hadn't been taken care of in probably 15 years. It had overgrowth everywhere. It had trees planted all over the fucking place that had grown, and it was just a mess. And I was remembering back to when I got that done, and that's when I was still an alcoholic. And I was kind of correlating. I was thinking about why did I start drinking, and why was I so active back then, and why do I struggle with laziness now? Because I'm a lazy motherfucker. Like 9 times out of 10, I don't want to do shit. Everything I do, I pretty much force myself to do it. And I can't stay active because my conscience is telling me, no, you need to be doing stuff. And as much as I want to sit down and not do anything, my conscience won't let me now. But back then, when I re-landscaped that entire yard over the course of 2 years or so, I did it completely blacked the fuck out drunk. And that was the only way I could find, that's the only way I had motivation to do things. And that's actually what got me started drinking. I was thinking back to when I would have this big energy burst, and when I would get all this energy, and it was always when I was under the influence of something. A long time ago, it was pills. The pills used to give me the energy that I wanted, this nice, clean, focused energy. And I liked that, and so that's when I started getting addicted to pills. I noticed that addiction, and I noticed that I was really becoming kind of dependent on it. And it was one of those cases where if I had them, I would take as much as I could. I would just take them. If I couldn't find them, I would try to find people that would get them, but I would rarely be able to find people that had them, and I wouldn't look too awfully hard. Fast forward to my drinking days, that's why I started drinking as well. I noticed that when I would get off work, I would come home and have a couple of drinks, and I would get the super high energy, highly focused high energy, and I would get projects done around the house. If I was sober, I would want to just come home and sit down. My mind would be kind of scattered. I would have a hard time organizing and focusing what it was I was trying to do. And so I just came home every day and I would have drinks. I would turn on some music and I would get projects done. And I got the whole entire fucking yard re-landscaped, got fire pits built, got trees cut down, trees dug up, the entire yard landscaped. If I can find pictures, I'll put some pictures in right here. If there are no pictures, then I didn't fucking find them. But eventually, I became a fucking addict. I was a full-blown addict. I would wake up in the mornings shaking. I would tell myself I'm not drinking that day. I would get off work. I would go to work. I was working a commercial front load, and I would be at work at 3 a.m. And I would be there just fucking shaking. By about 9 a.m., you be sweating, not feeling well. I'm not going to drink. I'm going to go to the gym. And I would go to the gym and I would start to work out, and the gym I went to, maybe this was my fault, but the gym I went to was right next to a fucking liquor store. And maybe that was fate, who knows? But I would always break. I would leave the gym early. I would leave the gym after like 10, 20, 30 minutes. And I would go to the liquor store, buy a bottle, rush home, and just fucking chug it. And I did that for about a year. Until one morning, I woke up, same as always, from a blackout drunk. It was about 3 years at least or so that I spent drinking every day. Going to bed, blacked out drunk every day, not remembering the day before, the night before. And one morning I just woke up and I don't know where it came from. I just looked at my wife at the time and her and I were talking. We were talking about something, and I remember I was like, I'm not going to drink for 30 days. I think I was going to go on this workout program. I think I created a program, and I had some supplements. I was like, I'm going to take these supplements, and I'm going to go on a workout program, and I'm not going to drink for 30 days. And during that 30 days, or not during that, but during that discussion of the 30 days, something in me just said, you know what, I'm not drinking at all. I said, I told her, I said, I have a problem. I said, I'm a fucking full-blown addict. And she was like, well, I fucking know. And that's when I called my dad, and I said, my dad, he was a sponsor, and he had gone through AA, and he was an addict. And I called him up, and I was like, I don't want to go to AA. I don't want to do the steps. I want to do this my way. Yes, the way I am. But I got a problem, Dad. I'm a fucking full-blown addict, and need to quit. And from that day, I quit. But now, I still struggle with that fucking laziness, with not wanting to do anything. It's not a lack of motivation. It's not a lack of drive. It's just a lack of, I don't fucking feel like doing anything. I don't feel like getting up. I don't fucking feel like getting up early. I don't fucking feel like going on my Ruck March in the mornings. I don't feel like coming home and cleaning the house or doing this, or I don't feel like doing any of it. What I feel like doing is exactly what I did for about 2 years after I went to World's Strongest Man. Was I would wake up, play video games, eat peanut butter out of the jar, and be a sack of shit. And that's where I ended up wanting to just off myself because I was so depressed and miserable and lost. And so I know that I can't do that. I know I can't let myself get to that space. And so when you see the discipline that's been cultivated and the discipline that I'm still working on, because in my opinion, I'm nowhere near where I want to be as far as discipline goes. But from what a lot of other people see, I am very disciplined. Well, that doesn't just happen. I wasn't fucking born like that. I have to work extremely hard. And I want you to know this is the same thing with you. It is the same with you. You're not gonna fucking feel like doing this shit. You're not going to just automatically have discipline. It's not just gonna come naturally. It's not something that's just gonna be fucking easy for you. It's gonna take a lot of work. It's gonna take a lot of doing the shit you don't wanna fucking do when you don't wanna do it. I once heard a definition for discipline that I fucking love. And it was doing the shit that you hate to do, but doing it like you love it. That's exactly what it is. And to be honest with you, 99% of the shit that I do, I hate doing because I want to just sit down on the couch and fucking play video games and watch TV and be fucking lazy. But I also know that my conscience won't let me do that. And that's why I was in such a bad place. That's why I was in such a bad fucking place at that time, because I was living so incongruently with my conscience. My conscience was sending these notifications left and right in the form of anxiety and depression and wanting to off myself and everything like that, just saying, hey motherfucker, get up, let's go. These are those notifications that your conscience are sending you. When you look in the mirror and you just hate what the fuck you see back, that's your conscience saying, this is not where you're supposed to be. When you're sitting on the couch playing video games and your conscience is telling you, dude, you got shit to do. And that's because you're supposed to be doing a lot more than what you're doing. Discipline is built. You're not born with it. It's not something that you just have. You have got to build that discipline every single fucking day.